was that when you get to financial forecasting, it's just a guess. It's a guess on your past, present, and future. Now, it's not just a guess like, you know, you're just throwing numbers out there. That's not what I'm talking about. In your business plan, there is a financial projection page. That just simply means what I just said. An educated guess based on your past, your present, and your future with some factors that will help you make that decision. Now, let me give you some of those factors. Write this down. You want to look at the market. Market is fancy. Tag your homegirl in them. Tag your homeboy, man. Invite some people to this. I'm giving y'all away free game. And I got a bonus for you at the end. So tag your homegirl in the chat. Tag your fellow homeboy in the chat and let them get in here because they need this for their business plan. So listen, one factor in making a past, present, future decision in your financial projections, which is just guessing. That's what that means. But it's an educated guess based on some factors. One factor is the current market you're in, basically the circle. So if you are a food truck person, right, you're looking at the local and national circles of people to evaluate and to discern what the expenses that they have. You might be saying, Myron, how in the world could I do that? Simple. Save $50 this month if you're local. Call up the person who owns the food truck. My name is so and so. I'd like to take you out for lunch. Have a couple questions. I really just need somebody to talk to. I'm new to the game when it comes to this food truck business, and I really want to holler at you. Now, all of a sudden, you done tapped into a market through a leader who is experienced in understanding the expenses and the revenue. Expenses is what's going out, revenue is what's coming in, right? Revenue minus expenses equals profit or overflow, right? Spending money not in that regard. The second factor is to look at your competitors. Look at people who are maybe your size or twice your size and competing in the same industry with you, right? To begin looking at what is going out and looking at what's coming in. Well, Myra, how am I going to do that? Well, number one, you can go on their website and look at what their prices are. We know that their prices are set based on what we call the cost of goods sold, what it takes to create a product, what it takes to engage in a service for a customer or a client, right? So when we're looking at those prices on the website, that at least gives us an understanding that what they're pricing it at and what it costed to actually do, you call that compartmentalized labor, what it costed me to do, right, ends up helping me understand what their profit margin is. A profit margin is basically a percentage of money that you have left over. That's overflow. That is a percentage revenue minus expenses. What came in, what went out, what came in versus what went out equals your profit, and that is a percentage, right? And so you can go online and then say, okay, hey Google, ChatGPT, what is the national profit margin in my industry, food trucks? What is the national profit margin in my industry, cosmetics? So you get the national profit margin. You go back to the website and say, okay, if he's selling a plate for $10 and the profit margin in the food industry is, let's just say for numbers, 10%. So that means selling it for $10, but the profit margin is 10%, then he only making $1 on that. Wow. So now that tells me what my expenses would be, right? Or when it comes to cost of goods sold, when it comes to actually making the product versus selling the product. It's so simple, right? You already know this stuff, right? Um, in so many ways. Let me give you the third factor. The third factor is experimentation. Now, this isn't in a priority. I'm not prioritizing this, right? Experiment simply means get out there and test. Go with your gut and go test. Don't look at your homegirl business. Nope, don't look at your homegirl business. Look at your gut, your beautiful gut, right? And ask your gut, what do you think I could sell this for? Your gut gonna say, man, I think you could sell that joint for like $25. And then you say to your gut, you know what? I agree with you. Then you go back to your gut and say, hey, gut. Your gut gonna be like, what? Okay, answer me this. Who you think I should sell this to? Who you actually think that would even buy this? Your gut gonna be like, well, Uncle Junebug, if he ain't drinking, might have a few dollars. And he love a plate. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna go holler at Uncle Junebug because I know he got 10 other people that's just like him. Then you go holler at Uncle Junebug. You like, hey, I got these plates for $10. He like, no problem, young blood. I got 5 other partners in the back, and they drinking Coke 45, and they hungry as all get out. Give me 5 more. Then he gonna go back and sell the plates for 15 and make a little bit of money. What am I talking about? Getting out there and experimenting. And so as you experiment with testing what people are willing to pay, then it gives you insight on one thing: value. Because anytime somebody pay you for something, a product or a service, they're paying you based on value. What they're saying is, what you have to offer will change my life. And if it will change my life, I'm willing to pay the price. Now that gives you a sense of, wow, this is how much I could make, or this is how much I think could come out of me creating this product or developing this service. This is how much I think is going to cost me in expenses. Fourth way to build out your financial forecast or your educated guess is doing a 30-day review. And here's what I mean. It's real simple. Add up all your business expenses, or add up all the business expenses you think you will have based on the competitors and the market people, the market leaders that you had lunch with who gave you inside information on your questions. You're going to add up all of those expenses divided by 26. And that will tell you what it's costing you daily for your business or the business you want to have. Now you say, okay, if this is what it's costing me daily to be in business, let's say it's $86 a day. Well, I know I can say, okay, I want to grow 10% beyond my break even point, what it's costing me every day. This is $86. So I want to make $8.60. That's 10%. I want to grow 10%, right? So you're taking your expenses divided by 26, leave a couple days off. You get that number, which is your expenses, that you've categorized in your business plan: utilities, um, insurance, fuel, business meetings, marketing, website hosting, website design, business consulting, that's me, um, business coaching, uh, branding, logo design, you name it, inventory, phone, vehicle, transportation, all of those expenses, you add them up, divide them by 26. Now you have the daily expense of what it's costing you as a business. And then you can decide based on past, present, future, how much revenue you want to bring in beyond the 86. And then when you take revenue minus expenses, that equals your profit. So that is the fourth factor. The fifth factor, I would say this: um, grab mentors. Grab mentors that you don't know. Grab mentors that are close. Grab mentors that are far. Here's the best way that I can explain it. I was at a conference years ago. Number one, that's a gym. I was at a conference learning from. I ran into one of my heroes who was speaking on the main stage in a hallway. We somehow ended up in a room having a conversation. That conversation led to weeks of Zoom calls. The Zoom calls led to me following him all over the world, everywhere he was, up until the point that he started giving me opportunity to speak on some of the same platforms that he was speaking on around the world. What am I saying? When it comes to your financial projections, get in the room with people who can take you further than you could take yourself. Now, the 5 factors I just gave you are factors that will help you make a decision on what are my expenses, how do I expense out, revenue, what do I expect that I'm going to bring in. Now, there are several ingredients to increasing your revenue that I can't even go into now, but I'll give you the 6. One is you have to have a leadership mission and guiding principles plan. Number 2, you have to have a sales and marketing strategy. That's 3. Number 4, you have to have a powerful operating system to manage yourself, your staff, your systems. 5, you have to make sure that you have a process to launch products and services. If not, it'll end up costing your business versus bringing in profit for your business. Number 6, cash is always king. You need a cash flow system if you're going to become profitable. Now, when it comes to revenue and putting that on a document, I will go back to the 30-day review factor. Add up all your expenses in each category. Get that number, divide it by 26. That will give your daily expenses. And then once you get that daily expense, you can then determine what you think your revenue is going to be based on your products and how many you think you can sell based on how you're going to market and based on how you're going to pitch it in sales, whether it's on your website, pop-ups, friend groups, community groups, etc., etc. So I know I just went through a lot, but here's what I want to do. I am putting together, I'm hosting a business planning for bosses online webinar. I believe it's going to be March 28th. I want you to click that QR code that's right there, and that will allow you to register. So on March 28th, just in a few days, at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I'm going to do an overhaul on what I talked about tonight, and we're going to go really, really deep, and you're going to be able to ask questions. You're going to leave with a thorough understanding of a full business plan and how to write one that you can feel happy about, proud about. Listen, not everybody's going to, go the extra mile to do what they need to do to truly build their business. I don't want that for you. You don't deserve that. Your family doesn't deserve it. Your future doesn't deserve it. So click the QR code right there, and let's get busy. I believe that class is $197. Not a bad investment. to have a tool that you can walk away from, walk away with, being used to make money, steer direction, build your company. So hope that was helpful. Stayed on longer than I thought I would stay on. For those who are catching the replay, thank you so much. Feel free to email me if you have questions. This is us. This is us at onthepondnetwork.com.